Here we go then, the final of Players' Championship 26, and two players who have won titles on the European Tour this year looking to win their first on the floor in 2019, and Ian White has just wiped the floor with Steve West in the semi-final, a personal best average of 115 in a 7-2 win to get here. White is a #1 seed. Mensur Suljovic has also thrown at least one monstrous average this afternoon, standing his way. It is Ian Diamond White against a gentle Mensur Suljovic, and Dan Dawson joins me, Chris Murphy, to talk you through today's decider.
Well, yesterday we saw Daryl Gurney, a man who is accustomed to winning big stage titles in PDC darts, pick up just his second floor title 2 years after his first. Mensur Suljovic is looking to do the same, because even though he's won 6 titles in the PDC, only one of them has come on the floor. He's
25.
Very much a big stage player, is Mensur. Certainly that's where he's had his success.
25.
And that win did come a couple of years ago when he beat Stephen Bunting in one of these tournaments. It was just before the World Grand Prix in Ireland. But what a game we have. The world #9 and the world #10 going at it here for £10,000 in ranking money.
Outside the 25.
First job to decide who throws first in a match. The bullseye shooting contest that we have at the start of all of these matches. It looks like Suljovic is likely to get that advantage.
Bullseye.
But looks can be deceiving, Murph. And this could be important because this is the 4th time they've met this year, and the 3 previous meetings have all gone in a best of 11 encounter, 10 or 11 legs. So they've gone close. And if you do beat Ian White, you can count on the fingers of one hand this year the number of times Ian White has been beaten by more than 1 or 2 legs.
Yeah, they did meet in Mensur's most recent title, that Austrian Darts Championship triumph. Beat White along the way before seeing
outside the 25. Mensur has won the bull and will throw first.
In the decider. White, of course, beat Michael van Gerwen in the decider of his most recent triumph, the Dutch Darts Masters. Won his last couple of finals, White. In deciding legs, 8-7. Could well go all the way this, based on what we've seen from these two players.
140.
Well, that's it. I don't think there's going to be any question of either man choking in the final, because they are regulars in the deciding games in tournaments. And 100. As you say, they've both beaten MVG in last leg deciders in big stage finals. So if you can do that, you can pretty much do anything in my book.
Well, the scoring has been out of this world from the pair of them this afternoon. They've hit 46 180s between them. And actually, you might think that Ian White might have a healthy lead in that stat, but it's Suljovic who's got the most. 24 to Ian's 22.
To be fair, Suljovic has played a few more legs than Ian, hasn't he? But even so, it is a phenomenal number to accumulate over the course of the day. I mean, we know Ian White's one of the big 180 hitters. He hits them all the time. But Mensur's not really regarded as a massive 180 hitter.
Now, often kind of wastes an opportunity, doesn't he, in the first visit. Often goes for the bull with a third dart. But he's left himself
100
on a finish. And he's got 6 darts to do it in the first leg. May do it in 3. Double 12.
126.
Well, misses double 12 for a fanfare start to this, but they can get awkward, those double 6s, and they can get more awkward when your opponent sticks in a ton 40 to leave himself on quite a simple 2-darter.
Well, that may be a little awkward. You can see Suljovic stepping slightly across to the left, trying to open up the bed.
Game shot.
Finds the double and takes the first leg. Mensur has had wins against Richard North, Gavin Carlin, Ryan Joyce, Glenn Durrant, his standout performance in the last 16, 112.6
140
average against Dozer for Suljovic in that one, and then was taken to a last leg decider against Cristo Reyes in the quarterfinals before seeing off Johnny Clayton in the semis.
Yeah, very impressive display against Johnny Clayton, a man who nobody was getting close to all day, and then Mensur found a way after going 2-0 down to win it 7-5.
Not quite as impressive as the semi-final display from Ian White, who averaged As I mentioned, 115 dead on. That's the highest average he's recorded in a professional match in his career. Winning legs in that semi-final win over West of 14, 14, 11, 12, 12, 15 and 11.
Steady.
The two legs that Steve West won were inside 15
81
darts as well. White had checkouts of 123 and 125 in that clash.
Well, look, I've been banging this drum about Ian White for ages. He is one of the best players on the planet, and
58.
Surely it has to turn for him in the big TV tournaments at some point. Not saying he's going to go and win loads of them, but he's got to make it past the quarterfinals somewhere. You cannot keep producing this standard of darts week in, week out for years and not go and do it at one of the big uns.
We have seen some monstrous stuff. 35 ton plus average.
140.
May well be 37 by the end of it.
Double 10.
Game
Yeah,
shot.
just in the corner, but that will do. And Ian White, 14 dart legs. I mean, he eats 14 dart legs for breakfast. That's just what he does.
Well, prior to that win over West, White had victories over Jan Decker, Alan Tabb and Andy Jenkins in the closest encounter White's had today. 6-4 that. Then beat Gert Nencher 6-3 and Andy Bolton 6-0 before a win of a 5-leg margin over
100.
West. Full credit to Steve West as well, reaching the semi-finals. It was 3 years to the day since he reached a final here in Barnsley, his only PDC final to date. It would have taken some kind of Herculean effort to beat in this one.
Now then, 180 levels it up in this leg. It's exactly what he's got. Diamond Ian White producing his 23rd maximum of the day. They're going to hit the 50 mark between the pair of them over the course of this final. They have to.
60.
This was, of course, the cut-off tournament for the World Grand Prix. This pair will be an interesting pair because only the top 8 are seeded into the draw at the World Grand Prix. And with White and Suljovic sitting at 9 and 10, they're going to be very, 99. Very dangerous for anyone.
Well, the rankings say they are the most dangerous unseeded players. And to be honest, if you're drawn against either of them, you'll be a little bit worried. White might be worried about this.
136.
Bullseye missed by Mensur.
Does Diamond White get a dart at the same target? Will be a good dart at this to get one, but he's found it.
97.
Well, he's just missed it. And Suljovic can tidy up. Regain the lead on double 8. Or double 4.
Game shot.
Well, the only chink in the armour for Mensur Suljovic in the semi-final against Johnny Clayton, he had 2 or 3 legs where he just started to miss doubles in clusters.
100.
Now, if he does that here against Ian White, who once again, at the minute, I know we're 3 and a bit legs in, but he is averaging well over a ton, around about the 110 mark right now. Ian White is not 100. In the mood to let people off for the odd mistake. He will hurt you.
This pair actually did meet at the World Grand Prix last year. Suljovic reeled off a 3-set win.
140.
Ian White perhaps should have gone on to reach a final. Twice he's been in good positions in semi-finals at the Grand Prix and twice failed to go on to reach the decider in a tournament where many people really fancy him going into it.
96.
Usually because of that love affair he has with double 14, but we have seen Mensur Suljovic this season use it not as often.
And not as effectively when he does use it as well. Like, he actually I think he looks more
100.
dangerous on some of the other doubles than double 14. Having said that, of course, it was the double he pinned to beat Michael van Gerwen and win in front of his home fans in Vienna.
Does have significant matches against Ian White, has beat him in both of those runs to semis at the Grand Prix, also beat him in his run to the final of the European Championship back in 2016.
And that's it, you know, Mensur has done a lot more in big TV tournaments because he's on big deep runs. He's won one, of course. And yet they're right next to each other in the world rankings. You would not say that there is a chasm between these guys in terms of their skills. You only have 12 titles for Ian White.
Yep, not forgetting the match play run as well. Beat
40.
White in the run to the match play final last year. But Suljovic has done the business on the telly more than White. He's got that monkey on his back. He's going to get the chance to change that this season.
31.
That shouldn't change the outcome of this leg because Suljovic is not on a finish.
$133.
He does at least ask the question of the diamond.
Game shot.
To which he has the answer. 4 legs in. 4 holds of throw. 2 apiece in this one. 104 average White, 100 average Suljovic. Ian White is averaging about 104 for the whole day. Now that is up there with some of the best darts we have
60.
seen. We've seen Peter Wright dominate and play some of the best darts I've ever seen in winning one of these titles. Gerwyn Price earlier on this year was absolutely spectacular. We've seen Michael van Gerwen, of course, have days like this. But this is right up there in that bracket from Ian White.
137.
One of the reasons that we refer to the head-to-head record is
100.
this is a guide to how they might be feeling playing each other. Suljovic's head-to-head isn't massively significant in terms of it's not like he's beat him every single time or anything. It's 9-5 Suljovic, but every single one of those 5 wins for
180
on the floor. Suljovic has only won 1 of his 9 victories against this opponent on the floor, and that was the most recent time they met.
100.
That's the intriguing thing, isn't it? You know, like Daryl Gurney, Mensur Suljovic, the majority of his titles have come in big stage tournaments, whether it be on the telly or on the European Tour. Ian White, the vast majority, come in these floor tournaments.
100.
He's always been considered a floor player. It's this year, actually. The weird thing is not won one of these, and yet he's won 2 Euro Tours. Things might be changing for the Diamond. That's why many people, myself included, think he can go and do something he hasn't done before on TV and have a deep run beyond the quarters.
Well, he's got a chance to break here. It's only going to be the 1 dart, but where? The bullseye is where?
59.
Bullseye's not there.
Well, for the second time, he's had a dart at the bullseye to break Mensur Suljovic. But this time, Mensur Suljovic has got a lot of work to do to hold his throw, and he's not even going to get a chance. And Ian
46.
White on the outer ring has been pretty convincing.
Game shot.
Very convincing indeed. Ian White takes the advantage in this final. It has been an exceptional standard. White is averaging 104 after 5 legs. That is roughly where his tournament average has been throughout the day as well. Of course, inflated slightly by that incredible performance in the semi-finals, but this is the standard that Ian White is capable
100.
of producing game after game, day after day, week after week.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, take that one out. Look at his lowest average of the day. It's what, 98.3? It is
58.
that good from Ian White. His worst game is 98.3. That can win you a game. If you take your chances and average 98, you can beat anybody. And Ian White can beat anybody over whatever
180.
distance you like on any stage. Just look at him play. Everything is perfect. Everything is set up for him to go and do something enormous in this game. He's already achieved massive amounts. 12 titles to his name. 4 Euro Tour finals in a row this year. Only Michael van Gerwen has achieved that before. He is doing things he's never done before, but he is always going to be judged by what happens in the big TV events. Well, what better way to prepare
57.
than picking up yet another title?
Well, he's got to excite every dart player, Ian White, when they've got to look at him and think this is a guy whose career has spanned 3 decades and he's playing the best
100.
stuff of his life in the twilight of it.
Well, yeah, look, he's 49 years old. He's playing better than ever. And is showing no signs of that progress stopping. That's the thing. You don't feel like he's plateaued.
$116.
Well, the way that White's playing, not just in the final, but over the course of the day, would suggest it wouldn't have mattered what Mensur hit there, because this has an air of inevitability about it.
Game shot.
And the inevitable comes to pass. 4-2 to the Diamond, who keeps on motoring.
140.
Darts players from Stokes just living at 104 average for the day. We've ever seen that before.
$140. $121.
This is Ian White's 6th final of 2019. 4 of them on the European Tour. Did play in 1 on the Pro Tour earlier this year. Lost
135.
8-5 very, very early on back in February.
I'll tell you what, Mensur Suljovic, been in 12 PDC finals. He's won half of them. The only people who've beaten Mensur Suljovic in a PDC final: Michael van Gerwen,
100.
Gary Anderson, Michael Smith. That is it. If Ian White joins those, that is an exclusive club to be part of.
I'll tell you what, he's in danger here.
100.
Been handed a bit of a thrashing. That treble from White there has given him a chance if Suljovic fails to take out this 3-figure combination. But he's got a dart, a double 10.
Game
and he
shot.
might well have needed that superb stuff from Suljovic.
Fabulous stuff from Mensur Suljovic. White stranded just when it looked like he might be about to turn the screw.
60. $180.
And are we seeing a Mensur surge? He did this against Johnny Clayton in the semi-finals, where he had 2 or 3 legs where he just kept battering the treble 20. He went 6 darts into the 9, then 4 darts in the very next leg.
We have seen
100.
9 darters this weekend. 4 of them if you include the European Tour qualifiers on Friday. Rob Cross delivering the Holy Grail today.
140.
All Suljovic is concerned about here is getting a break of throw, and 140 to follow that max at the start is a pretty good way to go about it.
Fills it up and gets to a finish first, though. Diamond visit from Ian Diamond White. 180 number 4 for Stokes number 1.
$100.
Well, they've now hit more than 50 between them over the course of the day. Can White? Well, he can't. Suljovic left on 81.
He may
65.
go bull first dart here, Mensur, to guarantee a dart at the outer ring. I'm interested to see the tactic. No, he's gone straight at the 45. And he's looking at the wrong bit. What are you doing? Mensur.
Yes.
Well, he should have busted his score there, hasn't he?
No score.
This is madness. I mean, he'd bust on his second dart, hadn't he?
But he scored, by my maths, 93.
Well, he's gone 16s and hit the treble, and so he thought he had 66 after the first dart. So, well, this is madness. And Mensur Suljovic has just had a complete brain fade. He's been allowed to get away with it
56.
by White not taking this out, but he's back at 81.
Yeah, he must have thought he'd hit the single 15. He'd scored 93 after 2 darts, so I'm not sure what was happening. Now he is in the treble again. Can he put it right? Well,
Game
all's
shot.
well that ends well. A bit of a wobble, a bit of a brain freeze from Mensur Suljovic. A puff of the cheeks. But in the end, it's 4 apiece.
Oh, bizarre for two guys who've been playing so well in this final and indeed all day. And then Mensur Suljovic
100.
very nearly throws away his chance of breaking back and levelling. But as it is, it's 4 apiece. And we could be on for a very close encounter, as indeed all of their games so far this year have
100.
been between the Diamond and the Gentle.
Yeah, we'll just say in defence of Suljovic, it wasn't a mess of the maths in that previous leg. I think he just thought they'd hit the single 15.
180.
He knows what he's hit there. I have seen today, and you'll like this, Dan.
Jose de Sousa?
Jose de Sousa going for 60 with 50 left.
Well,
59.
The boy finds new tactics to employ in this game. Still won though, didn't he? Still won the leg.
He did, yes. Had to miss the 60 that he went for and returned to hit double 15 in the following visit.
85.
For the match.
Spectacular. Jose de Sousa, a winner on the Players' Championship Series already this year. Ian White or Mensur Suljovic will join him in that club.
139.
But right now, it is difficult to tell which man it will be.
Well, Suljovic
96.
might be about to regain the lead here.
$99.
Double top to go ahead for the first time since the third leg.
Game shot.
Suljovic hits the front once more. 5-4, he leads. What a contest. World number 10, Ian White. World number 9, Mensur Suljovic. And it could not be much closer as Ian White produces his 5th maximum of this final.
$60.
Can he follow with a 6th?
177.
But 6 perfect darts, and the 9 darter is on.
Rob Cross has hit one already today. Jeffrey Desvan hit
100.
one yesterday. We have seen enormous averages all weekend. Can we see perfection from the Diamond here? Another treble 20. Double 12. And White gets it right. The Diamond pins the 9 to level this match up 5-all in the final, but he has to compose himself. The job is not done. That is just a side issue. £10,000 and the title is still at stake.
Diamond darts from Ian White. He strikes gold with a 9 dart leg. And this final, well, it's already had everything.
96.
What on earth is going to happen next?
Well, I'll make that at least 6 9 darters for Ian White in his career, but he would swap that if he could make it 13
95.
PDC titles by the end of this match.
Well, why not have both, Dan?
They aren't mutually exclusive, you're correct.
140.
Needs to find a break of throw somewhere, though. He would have loved that to have come against the Suljovic throw.
81.
I mean, he can't be too picky about where your 9 darters come, but still.
Mensur will still be feeling okay about this. I've heard players say they quite like it when an opponent hits a 9 darter against
85.
them, because it makes them think about it and get carried away a little bit.
Well, you can see, and there wasn't much reaction, was there? He knows there is a job to do. And a maximum here gives him a chance
180.
again. 180, number 6 for the Diamond, and he continues to bang on the door. Can he batter through and get that break of throw?
Well, he's just taken out 144.
140.
If he can go one better here, and he does get the break of throw. Choices. Looked for the treble 15, was very, very close to finding
93.
it. Suljovic was scared, but he will return and has the chance to edge back ahead. 220s, 210s. Sneaks it in the bottom of the bed, and Suljovic leads again.
210s puts Mensur 2 legs away from only his second floor title in PDC
100.
darts. Daryl Gurney said yesterday that for all his big titles, he thinks that these ones are harder to win because you can go out and play 112 average or 115 average, something that Mensur and Ian White have done today. And then they said 2 minutes later, the tournament officials saying you're back on. You've got to go and do it again. Well, they are doing it again because Ian White, having averaged 115 in the semis, is averaging close to 110 here. And it still might not be enough against Mensur Suljovic. He keeps on firing in the 180s. What a contest.
One more from Ian White would take his daily tally to 30.
96.
Already seen that he's scored a 177 in this match. We're not sure how many he's hit in the build-up to it as well. It is relentless power scoring from White.
91.
But as you've alluded to, Mensur Suljovic knows all he has to do is hold firm on his own throw.
Well, look, we've seen from Mensur a string of 14 darters. There's a 12 darter in there. He knows 2 strong legs on throw is enough. Unless Ian White can chuck in another 2 9 darters. But the way he's playing out, I don't know, maybe he could.
Just trying to tee up tops. Unable to do that.
82.
Oh, hitting 9 darters, averaging 110. Misses a big number.
58.
Won't matter though, Mensur's too far behind.
I get the feeling that Mensur Suljovic is kind of conserving energy in this leg. Didn't seem very purposeful with the last couple of visits at least. And White has levelled up, and it is now a race to 2. And is looking very, very likely to go all the way.
Well, if you're in a best of 3 or a race to 2, it probably helps that you're a former finalist in the News of the World from back in the day. That's what Ian White is.
Yeah, he played Andy Jenkins today. Also played him in the semi-final that day, back in 1997.
60.
But Mensur knows 2 strong legs on throw, and he kicks off 140. Speak to Marco van Gerwen. He says, if I hit a 140 first up on throw, I know the leg is mine. I know it.
100.
That's what Mensur will be feeling.
Well, we also heard Daryl Gurney in his interview after winning yesterday's final say that, look, going off 60 to 100 in your first couple of visits is not enough on the PDC
140.
You know that you are likely to be punished.
Well, certainly against the firepower that Ian White has brought in this final, and yet still Suljovic is probably in a narrow favourite here by virtue of winning the ball. We said it could be vital
60.
at the start of the match, and it has proven to be a huge factor in this final.
Yep, the 9-dart leg, the golden moment may not matter a jot. Incidentally, it's
81.
the 40th that we've had across all tours on the PDC this season. It's quite remarkable the amount of times we've seen it this year.
Even getting him on the European Tour. Reigning 9 darters in
58.
2019.
The Challenge Tour, the Development Tour, the Asian Tour.
Now, 180 number 8 for Ian White here gives him a huge opportunity.
Yeah, Mensur's just had a couple of lacklustre visits.
140.
And even the 140 gives White a big chance, unless Suljovic can complete this big, big combination, which he cannot.
65.
He's been grafting and working and striving to get these opportunities to break the Suljovic throw. Now he has one. Can he take it? It's only 1 dart at double top.
60.
And it is not enough.
How many darts does Suljovic get? Big moment. Ian White looking to the heavens for help, and he's going to need it because Suljovic has got 2 at double 12. 1 on the wire. And
Game
1
shot.
in the bed, and Mensur Suljovic moves 1 ahead and 1 away from winning this final.
Absolute savagery. This is Mensur Suljovic at his clinical best. When he was establishing himself as a top player in the PDC, it was the finishing that set him apart.
140.
And in this final, there have been some clutch finishes under so much pressure. He's 10 points behind in the averages, and yet he still is 1 leg away.
63.
A little slip here from Ian White.
82.
Corrected by the final dart. That was much needed because Suljovic might have been able to pounce there. Pouncing anyway.
140.
In touching distance. Mensur Suljovic knows that he will have the darts in the decider. Ian White doing his level best to make sure that we do have that decider.
Needs another to get to a finish. He's got it.
140.
Oh, and he doesn't fill it up. And is that the difference between Mensur Suljovic potentially getting a match dart and not in this leg? Because Ian White will not take the 139, but he is going to leave himself tops.
99.
Could it happen? With White waiting on tops.
120.
Suljovic almost seals it with one of the trickiest finishes in the game.
Game shot.
White holds his nerve, holds his throw, and we are going all the way. This incredible final. This has been one of the greatest finals we have seen since we started streaming Players' Championship or Pro Tour action. It has been magnificent. Mensur Suljovic, 97 average. Ian White, 107, and it's going to be decided by one final 15th leg.
100. Checkouts, the 140 from Suljovic, the 144 from White that came at the end of a 9 darter. And it has got the deserved decider. The last leg shootout. A final that's had everything.
100.
Sublime stuff, ridiculous stuff. But which way is it going to go?
Well, for all of the incredible scoring
100.
from Ian White, it's those finishes, the 140, the 78, the 81. All of these for Mensur Suljovic taken out under enormous pressure.
But will it be the 158 that he missed that he looks back on?
140.
As his golden opportunity. Because this is finally poised. That's not a good dart for Mensur, has to switch. That's not a good dart for Mensur, has to switch.
57.
Well, if he had another dart, he would have had to switch.
Ian White, again, is fashioning an opportunity.
'89.
Oh my. Well, just hitting a big number would have left him on a finish. As it is, Mensur Suljovic could be first to a checkout, and he's threatened to take the 158 to win it. He's going to set up something here where he could win it, and Ian White cannot do anything from 172.
135.
How big will that miss be? Suljovic on a 3 darter where he requires just 1 treble for a dart
97.
double. He's had 1 already to win this match. White poised on a 2 darter. This could not be closer.
There is every chance that both men get darts for the title. Mensur could end it now. Double 16. And magnificent Mensur takes the title in a thriller.
Suljovic seals it on Sunday. Ian White produced a 9-dart leg but was denied the title. A dramatic final, an incredible final, 107 average for Ian White, a 9-darter but does not win as Mensur Suljovic picks up his 6th PDC title, doubling his tally on the floor, and wins a quite incredible match against Ian White, who will remember that for that perfect leg, but does not get the title. That today goes to that man, Mensur Suljovic, who's downstairs and is going to have a quick word with Dan to see what it means to him. Your winner, Mensur Suljovic.
Mensur Suljovic, congratulations. We're talking into this camera here. That has to be one of the best finals I have ever seen in one of these Players' Championship events. Would you agree?
I think this is best final for me. Maybe for him, no, for me it's the best. I see I play brilliant, play 9 darts. Thank you. Please, no look on your game. You played same game. I mean, Ian, brilliant player. So sorry, play 9 darts and lose.
I give up.
Sorry, buddy.
Every
Sorry,
time
buddy.
I play you. 9 darts and everything.
Come here, Ian. In this one here,
This one.
Ian, you've
Waving the flag.
the semi-finals you average 115. The final you average 107 and hit a 9-darter. What more do you have to do to win one of these floor titles this year?
Just keep going, don't I? I'm playing well. I played well yesterday. You know, Dal Gurney beat me and he went on and won it. Mensur's beat me today. He's won it. You know, if everyone keeps beating me who wins it, everyone will want to play me. I don't want that.
Well, look, I know that. Look, Ian White hoovers up titles. You've won loads of titles, 12 titles in the PDC. You've won them on big stages now, as well this year on the Euro Tour, winning 2. Now, with the way you're playing here, you replicate that in Dublin for the Grand Prix. Then, I mean, you have to be considered as one of the men to beat, don't you?
I feel good. You know, I've been playing well all year. You know, all my tournaments, you know, have been going well this year. You know, gone better than what they've normally done. You know, we just keep enjoying it, and that's what you got to do. And hats off to, you know, Mensur. Mensur, you know, he's playing well, but you know, I'm after that Van Gerwen. I want that number 1 spot.
Well, hey, both of you, I've got a question for you. So Chris Murphy mentioned this in commentary. Mind you, I don't want to trip you over there, Ian. You're in your late 40s now, Ian. You're playing the best darts of your life. You should be an inspiration for every player, shouldn't you? I mean, what is it that you've done to unlock this potential to play in the manner that you've done today? You've averaged 104 for the day.
You know, you've got to enjoy your darts. That's what I say to the young kids. You know, when they're out and they're saying, how can I throw like you? I want to throw like you. So you've got to go and enjoy it first. You've really got to enjoy it. And when you're playing well and enjoying it, you're hitting the 9 darts, you're hitting the 140s. Mensur knows you can go up there and hit 180, 140. Not a problem when you're playing well. It's when you're not playing well. And at the moment, Whitey's playing well.
Whitey is playing well, but Mensur Suljovic
really
is our champion today. 7 PDC titles now for Mensur Suljovic. When you won in Vienna just a few weeks ago, you said, I might be world champion, you know. This has got to make you even more... If you can beat Ian White playing like that, you can beat anybody, can't you?
Correct, buddy. I tell this year I'm the world champion.
Oh, he's not even he might be. This year he is going to be world champ. Michael Van Hu, he wasn't here this weekend. He'd have battered him anyway, probably.
Everybody play brilliant in moment. Ian White is the best player in moment. Really. Dal Gurney, Ian White, Gavin Price is good in form. Me.
And Mensur Suljovic. We will see you again. We've got Pro Tour action coming up. Players' Championship action just before the World Grand Prix in a couple of weeks' time. That's Friday, Saturday before the World Grand Prix. But next weekend, it is the Gibraltar Darts Trophy, the final European Tour event of the year, with 3 days of action, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Big weekend for Michael Smith.
Come on, buddy.
I'll do this now. Bye.